Module 1 and Video 2. Today we'll be speaking about the scope of production management. Okay, in the previous video, like I said, quick revision, we saw the meaning of production management and how production management is also called as operations management, and some of the important aspects of production management are process, planning, and all these things. Okay, we studied about all that in the introductory part as well, and later on we moved to the next point, the next topic, nature of production management. So we saw that production management adds value, and also along with that it's an interdisciplinary approach. And towards the end we also saw that production management is same like management. It is both art as well as science. And then we concluded our study saying that management of service sector. Okay, we also saw that operation management or production management is not restricted to only manufacturing tangible goods. Okay, they are even applicable to the services that are intangible. Okay, so the production of services which are considered to be intangible are also included or a part of production management. So that's what we studied in our previous video that I posted. And for today, let's just move to the next topic. Just give me a minute. Okay, I'll change the slide. Let's move to the next topic, scope of production management. So in the previous video we saw the nature of production management, and same like the nature of production management. Just a minute. Okay, can one of you acknowledge if you can hear me? Can you guys hear me? Am I audible? Can one of you acknowledge if you can hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Because here it said it was not unmuted, so that's why I just wanted to clarify. Anyway, so let's get back to our topic, scope of production management. So when it comes to scope of production management, same like nature of production management, there are 7 points that we'll be studying in detail. Starting from number 1, facility location. So facility location, plant layout, product designing, designing of process, production planning, and then QC, and towards the end maintenance management. So this is the sequence that you might see in most of the companies, okay, or we would say most of the organizations that are into production, or we can also say that most of the manufacturing companies, okay, they follow this pattern, starting from facility location till maintenance management. So now let's break down the 7 points and study each of these points in detail, starting from facility location. So a facility location is nothing but the very first point, or the very first thing that somebody would like to do. Okay, so while I'm teaching, I want you guys to think about a product that has been in your mind for a very long time. Okay, even though you don't have an idea of a product in your mind, just consider yourself as an entrepreneur and think about a business that comes to your mind. Okay, so for our further study today, I'm going to be picking up one of these industries. Probably we can pick a textile industry. Okay, so I'm going to be narrating or I'm going to be illustrating based on this textile industry. At the same time, what I want you guys to do is think about a product that comes to your mind and product that you wanted to start as a business. Okay, so you are an entrepreneur now, you have a product in your mind. Now you are going to set up your own business. Okay, so when it comes to your own business, when it comes to the scope of production management, we are going to figure out how we can start our business from scratch. Okay, so that's what we are going to be seeing. And by the way, we're not going to be seeing the legal documentation part and everything. We are just going to be seeing from the facility location onwards. So the very first process or the very first thing that you guys as an entrepreneur will be doing is to find an appropriate location. Okay, so you would want to set up your factory somewhere where you get access to the raw materials. Okay, raw material, getting access to the raw material would cut short on so much of transportation expenses. Okay, just imagine if you are planning on starting a salt factory. Okay, which means manufacturing salt. By the way, salt cannot be manufactured. You just need to do the process and get the salt out of the sea water. And what if you are setting up your factory somewhere, uh, mm, maybe probably 200 300 kilometers away from the sea? Okay, if you are setting up your industry which is processing salt, it has to be close to the seashore, right? It has to be close to the shores. That's when your company will get access to your raw material. By the way, when you are processing the salt, your raw material is of course the sea water. So likewise, we see any businesses that you want to start, you have to make sure that your plant or your company is easily accessible to the raw materials. Okay, so you can access to the raw material very easily and it can reach to your plant. So let me just take one more example. Sugar factory. Okay, let's think about a sugar factory. And if you have traveled to maybe towards the countryside, okay, especially my friends from abroad, if you have got a chance to travel in India, you must have seen in the outskirts of the city, not within the city limits, probably an outside place where villages are located, you must have come across or you would mostly see industries there. Okay, one of the reasons why people go and set up industries at villages are easily accessible to raw material. For example, if sugarcane industry, around the sugarcane industry you would see the fields filled with sugarcane crop. Okay, around this industry you would see plenty land, or plenty acres of land where people are just cultivating the sugarcane crop. Okay, so what happens here is, based on the demand from the industry, people generate funds, or people generate revenue out of this sugarcane harvest. Okay, so likewise, be it any businesses that you want to start, you have to make sure you are easily accessible to the raw material. But raw material alone is not the concern here. Okay, you might be accessible to the raw material, but at the same time you also need to be knowing that there are other important aspects as well. And some of the other important aspects are human resource. Okay, what is the point of you finding a place to set up your business very close to the raw material cultivating area, but then you don't have any human resource close by? So you have to take all these things into consideration while finding a suitable place. Okay, so some of the important things that you should be looking forward for finding an appropriate facility location is: number one, building, and number two, land which is closely accessible to your raw material, and also machineries. Okay, your place needs to be a place where transportation facility is easily available. Okay, if not, it's going to be a challenge for you to bring or send your finished products to the consumers or to the market. So you have to keep everything in mind. And finally, we can say that location of facility should be appropriate from where raw materials, number one, labors, number two, and other factors of productions are easily accessible by business. By the way, I don't have to stress so much on factors of production, because I'm sure you must have studied in the previous semesters. Okay, and point number two, plant layout and material handling. So now that you have find perfect or an appropriate place for your factory, let's see the next point or the next process involved in production management, that is plant layout and material handling. So plant layout is nothing but it concerns with the physical arrangement of your factory. Okay, so when you're setting up your business, plant layout helps you to set up your plant or arrange your machineries in an appropriate way. Okay, so when we speak about a plant layout, let's also remember the material handling, okay, which refers to managing the movement of materials from one place to another place. Okay, all this while I've been taking a few examples. So let's just stick to the example that I just mentioned before. I said we'll be speaking about a textile factory. Okay, so let's think about a textile factory. By the way, my friends from Tamil Nadu would know, there's a place called Tirupur, which is very famous for cotton. Okay, cultivating cotton, as well as Tirupur is very famous for t-shirts. Okay, or manufacturing clothes that are made out of cotton. And in India, Tirupur is considered to be a place where it appreciates, or it encourages local businesses to manufacture clothes, cotton clothes in huge amount, and then these products are being exported to various countries. Okay, one of the funniest thing is we Indians. By the way, I'm not putting down anybody. Let's say that we Indians manufacture various clothes from our own country, where our people are not allowed to be using these products, because let's say if big companies are giving orders to these companies, the small companies which are manufacturing cotton t-shirts, and what happens is we export these t-shirts to foreign countries. And fortunately or unfortunately, when our relatives visit us from probably from US or UK, they buy this product from their country and they just bring it back to us, and they might gift us. What I'm trying to say is, even though we manufacture these products here in India, not everybody is allowed, or everybody have access to all these products that have been manufactured. By the way, you don't have to be thinking about that. I was just trying to tell something, or what is actually happening with the manufacturing. So by the way, let's come back to this particular city called Tirupur, and where you will find a lot of this companies manufacturing t-shirts. Okay, if you want more information, you can Google it after the class and find out the export and how the export is done to various countries from Tirupur. Okay, so what happens is the farmers paddy not I'm sorry not paddy the farmers who are cultivating cotton crops takes their raw material. Okay, so the raw materials is nothing but the cotton to this factory. So let's not forget that we are in plant layout. So when it comes to plant layout, and you are a textile company, what you need to be arranging is your physical arrangement needs to be appropriate in your facility. Okay, you should make sure that the raw material comes into your factory, and you have a proper storeroom, okay, where you can store all your materials. And then from the storeroom, the next process is the cutting department. Okay, let's say from the storeroom, this cloth is going into sewing machines, and then fabrics are made. And after the fabrics are made, this fabric goes into the next process of cutting department, where this fabric is being cut according to the measurement that is fed into the computer, or if manually done, it's been cut according to the measurement. And from there, it goes to the next departments. Okay, be it the painting department, I'm sorry, be it the printing department, or the stitching department, and cropping department, etc. Okay, and then later on it comes back to the finishing or the checking department, where actually the quality control takes place. Okay, so all the finished products, okay, let's say the fabric is being made into t-shirts, and all these t-shirts measurements and everything are being checked, and if the measurements and everything is according to the standards that are set, and that's when the t-shirt goes to the final stage of packaging, as well as loading department will take care of the logistics, where this finished products are being packed nicely and sent to the export centers. Okay, so this is how a textile industry works. And when we speak about the plant layout should be in an appropriate way, where the raw material comes inside should smoothly go between various processes or various departments, and comes out as a finished product. Okay, so starting from the input to the output, your plant need to be appropriately arranged, or the physical arrangement need to be appropriate so that you don't have any difficulties. And the third point is product designing. Product designing is nothing but you have idea in your mind. Okay, so this is how I'm going to stitch my t-shirt. So you have an idea in your mind based on the latest trend or based on the requirement from the client. Okay, based on that you will design your product. Okay, so product designing is where your product comes into reality, which means the ideas, the innovative ideas that you have are generated into finished products. Okay, you put in your idea or the thoughts that comes to your mind, and you design appropriate design for your product that you want to do, and later on the shapes that you give for this fabric comes out as what you were wanting to. Okay, maybe your idea has been fulfilled here because the idea that came to your mind, with the help of product designing, you are designing it and making it as a finished good or a finished goods. Okay, so converting ideas are based on market requirements. Okay, we should remember that as well. And the next point is designing of process. So the next scope of management, production management, is designing of process. By the way, what is the difference between process uh, designing and product designing? By the way, product designing is dealing with only the product, whereas the process designing is transforming the raw materials into finished goods. Okay, the sequence or the various processes that raw material should go through. Okay, starting from the input to the output. So when this transition happens of raw material converting into the finished goods, there should be efficiency in manufacturing. Okay, if there is no efficiency, then the production cost might go high, and you might have difficulties with your expenditure. Okay, so designing of process is nothing but the overall route followed by the business for transforming raw materials into finished goods. Okay, and since we don't have much time, only 5 minutes left, let me just quickly explain to you the other 3 points. Okay, production planning and control, PPC, is the next point. So in PPC we see that it involves planning as well as controlling various aspects of production activity. So when we speak about PPC, it is a process of deciding production in advance. Okay, and a production in advance is nothing but when the client gives you the business. Okay, if the client is telling you, I need probably 1 million t-shirts within 1 month span. Okay, so that becomes the deadline for you. So based on the orders that you receive, you plan your production. Okay, production planning and control is not nothing but in advance making sure that you are able to give your client what their requirements are. Okay, if the order says that these many number of items need to be delivered in so and so time period, it is the production and planning and control department which works on the production. Okay, so they will calculate the time and see if we can do this production in this much time period, and if not, what the company does is they make multiple shifts, or they work day and night with different shifts involved in making sure that they produce the required amount from the client. Okay, fulfilling the client's requirement. And the next point is quality control. So quality control, or in short it's called as QC, is an important department. Okay, you will find this not just in manufacturing plant, even with Spicer, we have a quality control department. So quality control is seen everywhere. Okay, every industry would have a quality control. Quality control is where the product's standard is being checked. Okay, the quality of the product or the standard of the product is being checked. So to ensure that the goods produced are with high quality, various checkpoints are being set up by the organization, and the finished product might have to go through various checkpoints. Okay, so we were talking about the textile industry and manufacturing a t-shirt. So while when it comes to the quality control, the t-shirt goes through n number of checkpoints, okay, where they check various things of the t-shirt. Okay, sometimes it happens one sleeve becomes little tighter than the other sleeve. I don't know if you guys have if you guys must have bought some clothes from the roadside shop. You would see that, you know, the fitting won't be appropriate. So most of these clothes that you find in the footpath, which are sold for a very cheap price, are usually the clothes that are being discarded from the quality control. Maybe because of some of the reasons, maybe because of measurement reasons or other reason. Okay, it might be stain or somewhere it's not stitched properly. These can be some of the reasons why this product can be discarded. Okay, by the way, the reason for discarding the product is because it's not meeting the standard benchmark that has been set by the company or the organization. Okay, so quality control is nothing but checking the standard of the products that are being produced. And point number 7, the last point for today, maintenance management. Okay, so maintenance management is the last point. And by the way, every time the last point or the last process is where we evaluate our overall performances and see. So maintenance management is nothing but it helps us to understand where our organization is standing or where our factory is standing. So we evaluate the business activities and see if we are able to fulfill our mission statement, or if you are able to accomplish our objective, or if you are able to accomplish our goals. Okay, so taking care of all machineries, repair works, replacements and servicing, all these things are included in the maintenance management. Okay, by the way, when we speak about evaluating the performance as well as evaluating the machineries if they are in good condition and everything. Okay, focusing on keeping all the processes on track is where maintenance management comes in place. So with that, we'll wind up our class for today. It's already 10:30. In case you have any doubts,